At Cancellations International Airport due to bad weather. And Libya's two rival parliaments reach initial agreement aimed at resolving political crisis. A very good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us. This is News Hour on GBC24, the all news channel, as well as on GTV. I'm Conrad Kakraba. The dry northeast trade winds, or the Harmattan, have affected domestic flight operations, and as a result of the bad weather and on the advice of the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, all internal flights are indefinitely suspended.
The Harmattan became visible last week. Customary at this time of the year, visibility, especially in the mornings, is poor and affects travel by air, sea and road. This has severely affected the aviation industry, resulting in the temporary grounding of all domestic flights till further notice. Flights to Kumasi, Takoradi, Sunyani and Tamale, where the Harmattan is especially severe, are cancelled. At the Kotoka airport on Sunday, GBC24 came across a stranded passenger from Germany who was to travel to Tamale and Kumasi for a meeting. He arrived at the airport at 4:30 a.m. only to find out from the notice board that his flight was cancelled.
I was supposed to go to Tamale, then I will continue to Burkina and come back here Thursday. But I didn't know that they cancelled the flight. I just read there that if I want a refund, even if I want my refund, I have to wait about 6 days. I'm working in Germany and I have to go back to Germany. How can I wait 6 days to have my refund? This is the worst. There is no information, even nobody to tell you what is happening.
Mr. John Bright Ayadila is the duty forecaster at the Ghana Meteorological Department at the KIA.
We are having an high pressure over the Sahara region, which is blowing in dust particles into the country, and the dust particles is kind of scattering the sunshine, and then in scattering it is reducing the visibility. When you compare the northern region and the middle and then the coast, the intensity is more towards the north than the south. So the visibility there is very, very poor compared to this place. Hopefully, when there's a relaxation in the high pressure that is sitting over North African area, which we expect going to maybe next week, it will relax a bit. So we expect from next week the visibility to kind of improve over those areas.
However, the Harmattan has not affected international flight schedules, and many hope that the weather would be more favorable in the days ahead.
Let's go to the Bono-Ahafo region now and bring you excerpts of the region's cleanup exercise on Saturday.
All 27 municipal and district assemblies in the Bono-Ahafo region and residents helped to clean up the region. The Deputy Regional Minister Justice J made stops at various neighborhoods. At Nswatre in Sunyani West District, he joined the people to clean up the area and commended them for complying and asked them to replicate the exercise in their homes regularly. Then Nswatre Manhin Professor Nana Boakye Amwa Kromansa pledged the support of his traditional area towards the success of the monthly exercise. For the initiative to be effective, he said it is important for the government to revive structures at the grassroots level and to give the citizens the necessary backing to manage sanitation properly.
The Ghana Broadcasting Corporation's TV license team was on Sunday at the Four Square Gospel Churches Convention in Accra. The head of the team, Pastor Ebenezer Botri, educated the congregation about the need to pay the TV license fee. And after the service, the head pastor, Reverend Christopher Mafu Ahinkra, and other church members paid their license fee.
So if we don't rise up to pay this TV license, the GBC that has kept this station all this while will go down. I also encourage you to pay your TV license. There's TV license Act 1966. Section 1 says that you must pay your TV license for owning a TV and not what to watch. If you have one TV in your house, you are supposed to cover it with a license and you need to pay 36 Ghana for the whole year.
As Christians, we are even setting the precedent that, look, you need to pay your TV license. So when the opportunity comes out, let us work together on this one. It is important that we encourage Christians as well, not to always be, you have a civic responsibility as well, and you need to perform that.
Education Minister Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman says government and the leadership of private universities must dialogue more on the issue of state funding of private universities. Professor Opoku-Agyeman was speaking at the 14th graduation ceremony of the Central University College at Miocho in Accra. Central University College started as a pastoral training institute by the International Central Gospel Church. Over a 17-year journey, it upgraded and expanded its programs to reflect a liberal arts degree awarding tertiary institution. The school has recognition by the National Accreditation Board and affiliation to other public universities in the country. Currently, the university has 6 faculties awarding both undergraduate and master's degree certificates in theology and missions, applied sciences, business administration, law, arts and social science. This year, more than 2,000 students completed their programs. This brings to 17,000 the students leaving the corridors of the school since 2002. The Chancellor of the Central University College, Reverend Dr. Mensa Otabil, congratulating the students, asked that they become men and women of integrity and excellence.
The last 4 years, we've invested much into you. We're very confident that what you have received will help you to thrive and to progress in life.
The president of the university, Professor Kwesi Yanka, announced the introduction of a master's degree program in nursing soon. Education Minister Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman commended the university for progress made over the years.
A university where quality assurance is a way of life and where growth in student numbers comes with commensurate improvement in faculty numbers and quality of its outputs. Costs involved in upgrading the qualification of faculty remain one big area of concern for all of us, especially so for private universities. I encourage open dialogue with the leadership of private universities on matters of funding.
Special awards went to students who distinguished themselves in their studies. As it continues with its work of winning souls for Christ, the Evangelical Presbyterian Church has received a V8 Toyota Land Cruiser to support the church's work. The donation of the cross-country vehicle was in response to an appeal by the leadership of the church to its members to support the church's evangelism with logistics. At its 7th General Assembly in August this year, the EP Church launched an intensive evangelism campaign on the theme, Go Make Disciples, to enhance the spiritual and numerical strength of the church. A group in the church, known as Friends of the Moderator, mobilized funds to purchase the vehicle for the campaign. The spokesperson for the group, Victor Intumi, called on members to rise to their religious responsibility and demonstrate their commitment in providing the needed support for successful evangelism. The moderator of the General Assembly of the EP Church, Ghana, Right Reverend Dr. Agidi, thanked all who helped purchase the vehicle and called on the entire membership to help win more souls for Christ. He encouraged members to make a difference wherever they are and seek to bring light into darkness in accordance with the church's mission. A technology transfer to increase rice yield from 5 bags an acre to 20 bags an acre is in progress at the Botanga Irrigation Dam in the Kumbungu district of the Northern Region.
The construction of the Botanga irrigation scheme was started in 1978 and completed in 1983. The project was funded by the Ghana government to support year-round farming to ensure food security. Its cross area under irrigation is 570 hectares. The main crops grown are rice and maize, vegetables such as pepper and eggplants, and tubers such as cassava. In 2014, the Agriculture Transfer Technology Project was introduced in the area with 600 starter pack demo stations in the Botanga irrigation scheme, giving each rice farmer the opportunity to use the area super granular fertilizer on a 10 meter by 10 meter pot within their respective fields. In all, The project trained 3 women groups in rice transplanting and placement, which has become an alternative income generation activity for them, with funding from the USAID through ATT's grants program. The farmers were supported with power tillers and accessories to boost rice production and encourage mechanized agriculture. The outgoing president of the International Fertilizer Development Center, IFDC, Dr. Amit Roy, said rice production is key to the development and growth of the country. He explained the technology to journalists. Madam Azara Al-Hassan, who is a beneficiary of the project, commended IFDC and its partners for extending the technology to the rural woman. She was happy about the gains made so far since the introduction of the technology. Another farmer, Shaibu Muhammad Al-Hassan, appealed to government to ensure the technology is sustained even when the project ends. At a meeting with farmers, the new president of the IFDC, Dr. Scott Angel, commended the farmers for their hard work and appealed to them to adhere to best practices to alleviate poverty among them.
The Dakuman official town congregation of the Church of Christ has feted children of the Jowulu Special School in Accra, realizing that many handicapped school children are neglected by their family and relatives. The church decided to donate assorted items, which included bags of rice, sugar, milk, and toiletries to the special school. The minister in charge of the Dakuman official town congregation of the Church of Christ, Evangelist David Amwatin, said spending time with the children and giving the items to them is part of sharing the love of Christ with the children. The assistant headmaster of the school, Mr. Fred Tete, thanked the church for the gesture. He asked for more support from other organizations and philanthropists. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with some international news. Now some international news. French people are voting in regional elections, the first electoral test since last month's Paris attacks in which 130 people were killed. Opinion polls suggest there will be a strong showing for the far-right National Front, the FN. The center-right, led by former President Nicolas Sarkozy, is expected to win in most regions at the expense of the governing Socialist Party. Sunday's first round will be followed by a runoff on 13th December. French regions have wide powers over local transport, education and economic development, and the election is also being closely watched after opinion polls suggested the popularity of the anti-immigration and the EU National Front had increased since the attacks on 13th November. Libya's 2 rival parliaments have reached an initial agreement aimed at resolving the political crisis that has plagued the country over the years. The deal, agreed at talks in Tunis, is intended to lead to a single government and elections within 2 years. It needs to be endorsed by both the internationally recognized parliament in eastern Libya and the Tripoli-based General National Congress. The agreement is separate from UN efforts to mediate in Libya. Libya has been unstable since long-serving strongman Muammar Gaddafi was toppled in October 2011, with militias ruling various parts of the country. Now some sports news. West Africa Football Academy WAFA on Saturday put up a vintage display to beat Accra Hearts of Oak by 4-1 at the Sugakope Astro Turf in a club friendly to keep both sides in good shape ahead of the 2015-2016 season. The game was played in 3 halves, with each half lasting 30 minutes, so there were 3 breaks in the course of the game. Accra Hearts of Oak took the first blood through the sport kick from the foot of their skipper Robin Gane before the academy boys drew level to end the first 30 minutes. West Africa Football Academy dominated play in the last 2 halves and scored 3 goals to nail the Continental Club Masters in the coffin. Ghana striker Jordan Ayew was named the best player for English side Aston Villa on Saturday, even though they were not able to grab victory at Southampton. The victors looked like they were coasting to their first victory in 14 matches, but Oriel Remeur's late equalizer and Southampton a draw. And this means Aston Villa side, who have now gone 14 Premier League games without a win, but still the Ghanaian attacker Ayew was hailed once again as the best player for the side. The Ghanaian rated 7.5 out of the 10 marks after the game, making him the best player for the side. The Midlands club are yet to win in 4 games under manager Remy Gard, and they would have been on the end of a season defeat if Southampton had been more clinical in front of goal. And that's it for the news, but a reminder of our top stories this half hour. The Harmattan has affected domestic flight operations, and as a result of the bad weather and on the advice of the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, all internal flights are indefinitely suspended. And Libya's 2 rival parliaments have reached an initial agreement aimed at resolving the political crisis that has plagued the country for years. The deal, agreed at talks in Tunis, is intended to lead to a single government and elections within 2 years. And that's it for the news. Thank you so much for your time. Next is Talking Point, where the focus is agricultural development in Ghana.